Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be making a Babam rug, and first things first, I'm projecting the image onto my frame and then I'm going to trace it with a marker. And you want to make sure that when you're tracing this image on the opposite side, the image is going to come out backwards, so I made sure to flip the image on my phone. And this frame right here, you can purchase it on my website, imakerugs.com. This frame is super easy to set up. It only takes about 15 minutes and it comes with pre-drilled holes in it, so it's super easy. Now that the tracing's all done, here's the rug gun that I'm using. You can purchase it on my website, imakerugs.com. Obviously, it won't look like this when it gets shipped to you, but this is all the supplies that I'm using. Trimmers that I also sell on my website, but this is the rug gun I use. And this is the main thing you need to make rugs. You put the yarn into here and then into this needle and it shoots yarn into the fabric, and I'll show you how it works. As you can see, I put these two spools of yarn that I got at Walmart into here, and then I feed it through these two loops. Then I grab my two strands of yarn and I'm gonna put them into here with my loop threader. So I put the yarn through here like that, then like that. And I do the same thing on this little part right here. Like that. Now that your rug gun's ready, what you're going to do is put even pressure against the fabric. Don't have it like this, because you're not going to put it into the fabric. So what you have to do is push pressure downward and it sews into the fabric. And this is what it looks like on the other side. Like that. So I don't know if I explained that well enough, but as you can see here, I'm pushing in an upward motion. Don't be afraid to push hard onto your fabric, because if you don't push hard enough, it will create holes potentially, or it just won't sew in the fabric properly. So you want to make sure you get clean lines like I just did right there. And always go in an upward motion like I am. Because if you push in a downward motion instead of going upward, it could create holes as well. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I like to outline the image first. This isn't completely necessary, but I find it easier for some reason. But some people do the opposite, where they'll do the smaller details first and then do the bigger parts. But it's all personal preference. There's no specific way that you have to do it. So this rug took me about 30 minutes to finish. If it's your first time and it's about this size, I'd assume maybe it would take around an hour or so, but just take your time for your first rug. You should just really be patient with it at first, and then you'll eventually get the hang of it. Now, this part isn't completely necessary, but it makes it a lot easier instead of having to pick it all out. And typically this is used to make the other side of the rug look nice and smooth and have crisp lines, but I'm gonna just use it to shave off all this excess. That way I could see where I'm working better. And as you see here, before I get started, I turn on the gun with this button on the side here. And whenever I'm not using the gun, I either unplug it or I turn it off with that button. Especially when I'm changing to a different yarn, I turn it off just to be safe, because you don't want to potentially hurt yourself in any way and have the gun start to move while you're putting the yarn into it. And for little details like this, you could tell that I'm clicking the trigger instead of just holding it down. And the reason for that is it's just a lot easier to get these little spaces right instead of holding it down and rushing to go through it. whenever I'm done with 2 spools of yarn, I'll wrap both of them up like this. That way it's easier to grab when I want to use it again. Now what I'm gonna do is, I got some Elmer's glue. This is all you need. You don't need fancy glue. I get my Elmer's glue and I'm gonna spread it on here and then spread it with a putty knife. Now that I added the glue, I just wait for it to dry in the sun. Now that the glue's all dry, all I have to do is cut the edges. Sometimes I'll cut it with a blade. This blade is dull, so I am going to use my scissors. And I just go around the edges, like all the way around, like this, all the way to the edge, like that. Some people like to do a little bit of a space and then they'll hot glue right here and then fold it over. In my experience, people say that the stitches will come undone if you don't do that, but I've had rugs that lasted more than 2 years and that never happened. So it's all personal preference. You could also do that folding method or do it like this and then apply like fabric spray or like spray glue, and then add another fabric just to make it look more professional. But once again, it's all personal preference. So now the rug is pretty much finished, but if you have one of these, you can purchase it on my website, but this cleans off the rug and makes it look a lot nicer. Here's another hack too. This is a dog comb blade, and when I'm done shaving a certain area, I'll just comb it. You could see how clean this line looks. And here's the finished rug. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to get started making your own rugs, go to imakerugs.com. Thank you guys again. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys have a good one. See you in the next one. Bye.